So last video we did the creation of a lambda function, and we also uploaded Node.js code in there just to test, and also we triggered that lambda function from a function URL. So as I mentioned last time, the lambda function can be triggered in two ways. So you can use your function URL or an API gateway. So those are the two ways that you can do it. So in this tutorial, we are going to do the API gateway part. So I'm just going to run quick through these two parts because they are the same. We are not going to do this. Instead, it's going to be the API gateway part. So API gateway. So in the lambda console, you are going to search here, and if you are not there yet, you can write lambda and it will take you to this page. So we'll go create a new lambda function. We are going to create it again from scratch. So yeah, we'll just use this name, example lambda gateway. We're going to leave the runtime as is, the architecture as is, and we're going to create the lambda function. So you can see it has finished. So if you want to, this is the sample code that it gives you. If you want to test, you don't have to write the name here unless you want to save it, but you can just trigger it from here. And as you can see, it's returning the JSON that this code is intended to return. Also, we are going to upload the JavaScript Node.js code just to make it look more better than this. So we are going to use the same code that we used in the last tutorial. So it's just a simple get function for this damaged JSON data. Last time we used this JSON, this archive, I mean. So it's the same. You just zip it. To demonstrate again, we are going to go to the source and then mark everything, exclude the local one, and then compress it, and it will give you this zip file. So go back to lambda and then click zip and upload. You're going to select this zip. As you can see, it's in the same folder, and you're going to upload it. So this is the part where you put music because you're waiting. It has finished. So now you have the node code uploaded. So this is the Node.js code using Axios to put the data. Deploy. We already did this part. I'm not going to explain. And if you want to test, just call that function. So as you can see, it returns. So this is the part where we integrate API gateway. So when you go here, you select trigger and you select a source. So this is like, what do you want to trigger your lambda function? As I said, you have all kinds of lambda services that can trigger. One of them is AWS, as you can see. So you can do some really impressive stuff with this. But for this example, you're going to use API gateway. And it gives us an option to either use an existing API. So that's something that's already created inside the API gateway. or create a new one in this window. So we are going to create a new one in this window, and we are going to choose HTTP. And then we can use this for security, but for as an example, we are going to leave it this way. So in case that you need to understand what this is like an authorizer. An authorizer is like a look at it as a middleware lambda function. So it stays between your API gateway and your lambda function. So when someone sends requests, it needs an authorization key. So this key generates whether it should give you access or not. So it creates a policy that API gateway uses to allow your code to go to the lambda function that it is intended for. So I might do a tutorial for this maybe in the future. If you want me to do it, I can just write it in the chat. You can see. But for this example, we are going to leave it open, and we are going to let's see if everything is set up, and we are going to add it. Let's wait it for it to finish. So right now, as you can see, the first one we are using the function URL. We don't even have a URL here because this is a newly created lambda function. So as you can see, it has created the trigger, which is a lambda function. So if you go to API gateway, our API gateway API is named example gateway.api. So as you can see, when we are doing it that side, it has created this. So if you open it, it doesn't do much right now. As you can see, if you want to attach an authorizer, you can do that, and if you want to do other stuff, you can do that. But I think I should do a proper API gateway tutorial. But the one that you create with a trigger looks like this. So this has no security, has no loggings in any way, but you can attach them if you want. I love authorizers. So if you go back here, it also gives you an endpoint. So the endpoint also, if you can see here, it shows that there's no security in any way, and even the methods are not there really. So this bare bones API gateway function. If you want to test, as you can see, this is your endpoint. This is the URL it gives you. If you click it, it will call that lambda function with the results provided. So whatever it is you are using, it will show up in here. Also, if you want to see it inside Postman, you can paste it in here and run it. So as you can see, this is the JSON that we needed to get. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is basically how you use a API gateway with a lambda function to call it. But these are just simple examples. So there are things like maybe you have an API inside lambda, an API that takes calls from a route. So you can be post and you call a particular route to do that kind of stuff. So this example is bare bones, but it gives you an overview of what happens, what you need to change to connect and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know in the description if you like the video. Comment, subscribe. Yeah, until next time.